So I'm here to come to sell them again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here. Now guys eat hot.
Hey, good morning, 727. How you doing, buddy? Profit order filled. Profit order filled. Hey, glad to hear it, man. I'm guessing this is the same channel here on this 60-minute chart I have up. Yeah, I mean, there should be volume. Yeah, my input is set correctly, so I didn't test anything, but I'm long from 6650 right now, so we'll see. I've got a little trail stop thing going on. The best yet. All right. Yeah, I've been messing around with son of a gun. I've been messing around with gains and stuff like that in OBS, which is the software I use. So learning it a little bit more. I'm actually most likely gonna try streaming from Twitch and see how that works out. Might be a little better for you guys, a little more live than YouTube. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, how much delay there is. Just to give it a shot. I'm a curious person. Oh, jeez. I'm a curious person when it comes to all this stuff, so we'll see. Try it and see if it works out. If not, oh well, oh well. POC up here now today.
Order placed.
Here, we can get rid of this desktop audio. You guys don't need to hear all that. Let's see. Oh, that's cool default name. Yeah, over trading is the bane of a lot of traders, right? It's our kryptonite, isn't it? Yeah, that's the thing about trading. You could make a lot of money in a short amount of time if you're in a setup that works for you most of the time. And, just being patient for your setups, it's worth it. I think, and I've talked about this a lot, but oops. Really? I hope you guys can see everything here. Oh, you can. Okay, that's good. I've got this all set up to stream right from the actual open windows themselves, so there's no way for me to show all kind of details on the desktop or anything. So, but anyway, yeah, I've talked about it a lot. Like in my early days, it was just trade every day, try different setups, and keep trying them. a little bit more, just trading a lot more and not as great of setups. You guys see the time and sales? Yeah, you do. Okay, good. This is Sierra chart. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. We got another support here at 4,064 ish. There's going to be some shorts down there. Let's see. Let's see if we get any initiative here. Get any follow through here to the downside. Yeah. So this time in sales is a good way to, because it's aggregating by price and type, right? So you can see when folks keep hitting the bid like this, it just accumulates at that level until it changes price. See that? So folks are hitting the ask. See how it just accumulates up? So you can, you don't have to see all the ones and twos that fly down the screen. So this is a lot easier to keep track of for me for flow. So anyway, you can see 4,066.50. There was some absorption, passive sellers, short term. And again, as soon as we passed 4,066.50, they sold back into it. You see that? 121 contracts. So a little bit of a battleground. You can see it on the footprint here too. 2,446 contracts. So volume here, some volume here, some volume here. This is a 5-minute chart. It's not point and figure or anything. I didn't want to use non-time-based charts today because I am curious to see short term how you react around trend lines. So I've got this chart here set up to show the trend lines of this chart, right? A candle chart. So as we got near this trend line, I wanted to see, are there folks on the ask taking profit basically? And sure enough, yeah, that's what we got. And then just not a lot of interest to buy higher, so ran into congestion and they're letting it fall. So, and that makes sense. It's kind of a pretty big impulse and gap and go kind of situation here. So B4D, there are a lot of really good videos on Sierra. I have a few, like Introduction to Sierra Chart, that kind of gets you started. Optimus Futures has some. I don't know. Best thing is just to, you know, learn. I would say learn how to use um, learn how to use the menu, where things are, like how things are kind of grouped, and just right click from various places on the chart, and then just it's a comprehensive program. So it does take some time to learn, but once you learn it, you'll be probably pretty happy with all of the things that you can accomplish or create. It's very flexible. I got short here off of 67.75, and when I saw this, I covered into 66.50. I thought we would get a little bit more momentum and break this low, and when we didn't, I said, nah. And my stop was up here. So far 1 point for 2 or 3 points of risk, but sometimes when you change your mind like this too many times in a row, and then you get that one trade that stops out, you ruin all your work for the day. But I think the more experienced you are, the more you can do that sort of thing and get away with it and recognize when you have some momentum. So, and I know the time, it's 10:22 Pacific Standard Time. And this is when the algos really like to chop everybody up. So I'm just sort of, I think I'm going to look a little bit higher for a short entry. But we'll see. Already some de-risking going on here. 4 to 5 ticks. ATRs are 2.07, so yeah, I mean, Sierra chart, you can make it look how you want it to look, and that's sort of the beauty of Sierra chart. Yep. But it's not always easy getting there, especially when you're brand new to Sierra chart. It's like, geez, such a comprehensive menu. Again, I can't really show you my menu now because this is, this live stream is selecting this these screen source as a source, so it won't show me. I'm making all kinds of changes here, and you won't see any of the screens. Like right now, I'm right clicking and going into my chart settings. So my chart settings screen is completely open, but you guys can't see that. So that's one of the disadvantages of me using this setup, but it kind of prevents me, because I have a bunch of things open right now, it prevents me from messing something up and you guys seeing something that I don't want to have seen. So let's see. Yeah, this POC migrating up to this point doesn't bode that well for longs. I mean, we have a bunch of distribution areas today, don't we? Right, let's see. Just kind of zoom in like this. See, so POC's up here. And then we have another volume node here. Kind of messy through this area. And then I would imagine these are singles on a TPO chart. Let's see. Yeah, singles. There you go. Yeah, so this area's, you can see the high delta here. So breakout, you would, on a day like today, you might even get such a, like a pullback all the way down here, because we've gone so far so quickly. But who's willing to bet on downside on a day like a gap and go day like today? It's just that POC migrating up like that is usually not a great sign for longs intraday. Usually. So we'll see. Yeah, moving average on the NYSE tick, NASDAQ tick, just above the zero line all day, which is what you would expect on a trend day. Huh. And on a higher time frame, we're at some heavy resistance. This is where I was suggesting last week. If you wanted to go for an aggressive shorting outside here, I'm looking for a pullback back into this weekly trend line. Right, so a lot of people will start entering here where we're at right now, a little above the trend line. But for me, I think that, again, this is a weekly chart. I think we're going to push out. That's just the likely direction. So that's where you find liquidity on a higher time frame. And then I would look 41, I think 727 had a 4150-ish target, and that was probably based on something like this. He said close enough, right? 4140, 40, who knows how long it takes us to get there. If we get there, who knows? Could pull back here and find liquidity here. We don't know. But this setup for rule of 3 is typically bullish. And I mentioned that, did I mention that last week at the end of my, yeah, I think I did in my equities charting video. It's up. I don't remember when I did, but I think at some point I was talking about the various setups for rule of 3, and this one being 1, 2, and I said, when you get a gap and then it curls up, typically it means it's very bullish. So, we didn't even come to it. We just went for it. So I'd say the next time we come through close to this trend line, we're going to find liquidity. But, maybe we rip to the upside before that even happens. So, we got a little gap here, so we'll see. Yeah, nice gap. So, we will see. I think on this kind of, I'll go back to the 60-minute chart. On this kind of move, a lot of folks want to stay long, but they're just thinking about, well, where's the entry, right? And often, when everyone is worried about the entry, they don't ever get a chance to enter where they want to because it's bullish. And it's obvious to all, so, for longs, this is where you take off, so this is an obvious area here. Depends on how accurately I drew the trend line, obviously. See, look. It's close enough. We have the Mancini effect here going on too. We said, I think 65 to 75. So, we got 70, whatever, 3. What did we get? 73.75 as the intraday high. 4,073.75. So likely pullback area, yes. Likely profit taking area, yes. But weekly gap here. a more sustainable move would be to come down and test 39.50-ish. I think that's what's... Actually, never mind. Yeah. Not never mind that that's a likely move. It's just, you know, if I'm looking short, I'm looking up here. And then if you're looking to go long, looking in this area here. So let me look at the chat. I think I'm behind. It just means that there's potentially a lot more supply. So the idea, and this is going to simsum x or simsum, and then some sort of, what is that? Like an aleph or something? Is that Hebrew? I don't know. Maybe. It's really small on my screen. I've got my font really, really small. Anyway, here, let's look back at this. Let's go to the 30-minute. Aleph, yeah. Okay, cool. So here, if we got some consolidation and some higher volume, just think about it positionally, right? Traders are maybe bought on volume here, right? And then we explode. And then if you get some profit taking here, all right, then or up here or whatever, and it pulls back nicely, then you get a reload, right? And you want to clear out all the profit taking longs, but in this case, the majority of the volume is all transacting up here at the highs, right? So let's say you're long up here. If you're mega bullish, right, and you're going to hold this and your hands are very strong, yeah, we could keep going. But the chances or the probabilities of that happening when you have all the volume up here, what ends up happening is, not every time, but a lot of the time, right, you get some sort of, I don't know, triangle or symmetrical triangle kind of action. If you don't get the pullback, you basically get traders positioning here. So every time it breaks out, the longs take profit. Every time it, you know, well, usually when it breaks to the downside and you have all of these traders positioned on a very bullish day like this, you get all these people who bought it in here start to take profit, and so you get kind of a wicked little reversal. So it's just, the idea is that you want to have people averaged in from lower, and then, you know, taking off with nice pullbacks, and then that's a sustainable trend. You know, every trend, if a trend just goes like this, right, and it just, let's see, let me see what I can do here. Use this. If the trend does something like this, and then it pulls back, and then it does something like this, and then it kind of pulls back, then it does something like this, and it kind of pulls back, and then it keeps going, right? You're not getting a lot of the longs taking profit. But if the trend does something like, oh, let's see, exit pen mode. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I mean, just think about all the breakouts, right? When you have like, I don't know, big impulse coming in here, and then the market goes like this, and then it breaks, right? You have people averaged in from this area. Right? On a higher time frame, we are doing that. So, you know, this can go much. Let's see. Oh. Wait, can you guys even see all that? Oh, you can't. Never mind. See, this is the problem with not using the screen. So, sorry about that. I'm actually drawing all over the screen right now, but you guys can't see it. So I gotta use tools within Sierra Chart. Right. If the price does something like this and barely pulls back, I'll do it all over again here. Really what you have is a lot of people staying long, and they're buying. Once people finally take profit, it's just going to do something like that, right? So if a market, a sustainable market, here let's undo all this. We'll use red. A sustainable market moves more like this, okay? And maybe even a little lower, whatever. Chops people out, right, a little bit. Maybe it does that, maybe it does that, then it comes back in the channel, right? You want to flush out all that inventory, right? So people are buying and they're holding. The market just goes straight up. At some point, everyone's, you know, like if you bought down here, right, and it doesn't pull back, when everyone decides to take profit, they're not buying. I mean, maybe the idiots are buying, right, after a humongous move because they're like, well, it's bullish, so I'm going to buy. But typically, if you get such a strong impulse without any sharp pullbacks or profit taking, then the trend can't sustain itself. And that's where you get these moves that are, you know, parabolic advances. They start with the breakout, then the next leg goes a little higher, and then everyone's like, oh my god, bullish, this is the new paradigm. And then you get that, and then why do you see charts that look like, well, you guys, dang, this is a problem that I can't show all the charts that I want to show here very well. Anyway, think about Tesla, right? Just straight up, and then now it's, whoa, pullback, right? Good delivery numbers, but it doesn't really matter today, does it? Nope, it doesn't matter. Why? Because it already had a parabolic advance, and there's so much supply. There's so many people taking profits still on Tesla that it's like, whoa, why doesn't it just rip? Well, because there's overhead supply, and there's a lot of it between 860, 870, and 823. And then there's another pocket of overhead supply from 745 all the way to 708. Right? So it might take a long time for it to digest all of those gains. Essentially, all the people who were long, right, who are now taking profit. And, you know, those are bigger institutions. You know, when Warren Buffett tries to get out of a position, it takes him it takes him weeks or months, depending on the size of the position, right, for him to get out at a favorable price without tanking the market. So, you know, you just, like intraday, what am I doing this for? Intraday, when you see a POC migrating to the highs like that, you just have to think about, I think about it as, you know, where is all the supply now, right? Where's all the volume transacting? There's obviously different theories. You could say, well, value's trying to be established here, and that's true. You know, like if folks are short from this area, like en masse, and we come back, and when we come back through here, you know, they're all probably going to take profit or try to get out at break even, right? If they don't have the big reversal that they have or that they're looking for. So, you know, some of the bigger money that's swing trading the E-minis, not day trading it like us little plebs. You know, when we come back through here, they're going to start covering, and that's going to start the next leg. So now here we go. We're kind of breaking down here. So let's look. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I agree, Lucas, BDC. I agree. So volume through this candle at almost every level here. Very, very nice even volume distribution. So we haven't even found a node in this candle yet. We had one at the highs. And you could tell short term that they gave up. This is algo o'clock, man. This is a excuse me. Here's those lines from the 30-minute chart. Anyway, the algos will have their they'll have a field day. Oh, look at the let's see, the order flow. You know what? Yeah, there we go. It's funny. Yeah, you guys can't even see the mouse. When I use this window-based, you guys just don't see the browser in some of these windows even. So I'm like pointing to stuff, you don't see it. Anyway, in time and sales, you could see the flow. Pretty nice here. Right at 4,065, you could see it come in. So let's see, they're trying to buy. It's not going anywhere. We've made some lows. We're at value area high. Who was it? Indigo Trader? He says he likes to buy the first standard deviation pullback in either trend direction. And then he coupled it with the tick reading. So let's look at the tick. See the tick here? Right here on the left side. See if we get a little bit of a negative tick down there. Anyway, someone's buying in this 3,060 or 4,065. And it's initiative too. Look at that. 1,062 positive delta. So they're just hitting the ask here. So anyway, that one standard deviation off of VWAP would be right at 4,062. And value area high now is up here. This area, I don't know, if we extend it out, I always find this interesting. All right, this was prior value area high here. You see how we're just kind of going like a line through here? Right, so obviously because of the value the volume that transacted here, value area high is migrating up, but this was value area high right here. Sort of this line here, it's showing the progression, this white line, and then whoop, up here it migrates up because of POC, right, migrating. So it's interesting. Sometimes what ends up happening here is you get a bounce right at this level. But again, this is not a great setup for long still. Just talking it out loud here. Just talking through a little bit of my thought process, what I'm thinking about. And what I often notice and you could see it's a volume node here. But, you know, short term you often get a little bounce right in this area because you get all these pullback buyers and, you know, shorts are covering. You're already off, you know, 10 points off the high. That's pretty normal for shorts to want to cover about a 10-point pullback, especially in a trend like today. You know, it's like, oh man, I got 10 points, well I'm not going to push my luck. And then you got volume here, so you're going to have some folks that you had a little bit of balance here from earlier in the session, right? It kind of corresponds to this volume node. So if you are wrong on your short position, maybe you added all day, like, oh, this, I don't believe in this trend, it's just a little too vertical, right? Maybe you said, rule of 3 action, I'm wait to add. Maybe you did add, I don't know, maybe you're averaged in. But anyway, this is balance and it broke. So now as we come back into this area, some longs will capitulate, but you're also going to get some short covering in here. So it kind of correlates to, or corresponds to, this one standard deviation off VWAP here. So there's VWAP, there's one standard deviation. This is a very expanded one standard deviation. Very expanded. It's not tight at all. So I don't know, maybe, you know, I just put this on my chart, the 1 standard deviation, over the weekend because, you know, Indigo says, hey, I like using this setup. So okay, well, I'll put it on my chart and see how I like it over the coming weeks. See, I did some market replays and stuff like that, but you know, sometimes it's better to have it on your chart and then make a decision in real time. Go in small and see how you like it. So let's see, this area so far, little low volume node here, and point of control now is above us in the 67s. Again, there's a buyer here at 65.25. We saw that already, but we could see it again, right? You see that? 3,900 contracts. Now, you know, we're at a slow time during the day, so we're not getting a bunch of volume here. And you could see the volume's been kind of tapering. I mean, the volume to the downside always picks up, but for this kind of downside move, it's really crappy volume, you know, 12, 13,000 contracts. But you could see there is a buyer here, and it looked like, just from the depth of market or the DOM, that it was probably just an iceberg buyer. So maybe they were covering short, who knows? They didn't want to show their size. So maybe that's an institution or market maker covering their position as they're absorbing liquidity to the upside, right? So maybe they're contracted to get short because this is such a bullish market, you know. So maybe they're just covering their position. We don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Not ideas, but different scenarios that are likely true, you know, to some degree. There's lots of people and institutions trading, but there are people in the market that have to provide liquidity, so they have to get paid too. And already you get 5-6 ticks. So with an ATR of 2.2, that makes sense, right? When the ATR is in the 3 to 4, you get 8 to 12 tick de-risking. Oftentimes you get de-risking a little bit tighter in a smaller, you know, in a market that has a much lower VIX, like we're in right now. So there's your de-risking already. So if someone positioned long, they're already getting out here, taking the gains. But yeah, this is a kind of a classic rollover look here. So we'll see. I posted a chart on Twitter and showed, what was it, the rounded top. So this is classic. Classic rounded top. And then short term, we have some, let's see, let's move this up a little bit. Get a better idea here. Let's get rid of some of this mess here. Charts are already kind of busy with all these lines, huh? Let's just use the erase button here. There you go. Short term, we have this going on. Tight little trend here. So this is, if this keeps going like this is going to get some folks nervous to the short side. So, you know, big bullish day, big gap and go kind of day. It was just so bullish, hardly, you know, shorts didn't get much compensation today. So that's what's on the mind of a lot of folks right now. So they're probably pretty nervous. Hi, Sean. No, I don't mind you asking about my indicators at all. Did I just hide that? I think I hit it. I think I hit hide drawing. I always do that. Jeez. Now I gotta open up this screen here. Manage chart drawings window. See, you guys can't see that now. Oh well. Let's see. $10D chess. Yes, that's trading, huh? Anyway, let's move back to the. Let's collapse this thing again. I love looking at the footprint with candles on the same time frame. Yeah, I hadn't done that for a long time. I was just looking at rotations mainly. But man, when we get this low ATR environment, and trend lines become so important in that kind of environment, I do like mirroring the time frame of my candles chart. Yeah. The one time framing up has ended, hasn't it? Right? So now we're one time framing, starting to one time frame down. So singles here didn't even quite fill at 4064. We've already identified volume node here at 4063. So this TPO chart is colored based on volume. So the letters, when they're darker red, means more volume has transacted there. And you could see this is volume point of control. So time point of control is here. So so all you do, okay, so first off, here, let me switch something here on this chart. Oh. So this right here, I've locked the right side fill space. So I'm going to unlock it and move it over a little bit here now. Okay, you see that? So now I'm locking it again. So, right, everything that's on the chart is going to show up to here, including the names. Right, so I just realized that that was overlapping with my deltas here. But anyway, so this here, you could see it's labeled. Right here is the session delta, and then this is the bar delta, and then this is the bar volume. Okay, so if I go into my oh, Simsum, I have a video that you would enjoy. I'm gonna answer Sean's question right now, but I'll link you to my video, and I talk about auction theory. And my YouTube videos do have, they are labeled, so if you want to go to the part where I talk about auction theory, you can. Just look in the description; it's all linked in there. So here, let me find that video for you. Here, we'll go by playlists. It's probably my most watched videos because I think I feature it on my channel. And we look at a footprint to figure that out. But let's view the footprint layout. Let's see. Here it is. All right. We'll share it. We'll copy the link. And then I'll paste it. There you go. Then I'll get back to Sean's question about how to get session volume and session delta, I'm sorry, and bar delta above and below. So anyway, that's just going back to Sean, that's what that is. Anyway, the link is in for the video It goes over some at least footprint auction theory, but you can apply it to the TPO theory as well. So again, look in the description, and then you can see at the bottom when you highlight the video, right? You know, there's that red progress video, like how, I don't even know what it's officially called, but it's like how much of the video you've watched, the progress bar. If you pause the video and highlight that, or just go over it with your, selector, it'll come up with a description for what's going on in the video at that time. So auction theory, I think starts from around 12 minutes or something. Yeah, it's even labeled important auction theory using the footprint. And I talk about cows, so I just put cows, complete or incomplete auctions, right? So yeah, Simsum, no problem, man. Okay, so yeah, timestamps. That's like chapters. I think YouTube calls them chapters or something. So again, you can't see my studies or anything like that, Sean. But there's a study called in Sierra chart, bar delta below bar. So you can use that. Real easy. So super simple. And then, let's see, what's the other one? And then there's another one you can use, study subgraph above / below bar as text. And that's in Sierra chart as well. Right? And then you can point that to, let's say you have volume in your chart. You can, so let's say you add like a volume study to your Sierra chart bar. Hey, we're breaking up. So we have a volume out of that short-term trend line too, by the way, that I was talking about. So let's say you add a volume study to this chart. You can hide that volume study and then use the, sorry, I'm just navigating through to explain this. Bar session. Then use the study subgraph above below bar as text, and then point that study back to the volume study, right? And then you're just essentially putting in the text from volume above, or above the number bar study that way. So it's real easy. And then for your session delta, let's see, we're using also the same study, which is the study subgraph above below bar as text study. And again, I have cumulative delta bars study on the footprint, but it's hidden, right? But I'm pointing back to that, and then you would just use the close and set up your colors and your short names in the subgraphs tab, all of that. So real easy. Yeah, if you use Sierra chart, I even show you how I set up my my footprint. So that would be probably the link I had in the chat is probably useful for Sean as well. Although, I think I've changed things a little bit, but he could get an idea. Yeah, no problem, Sean. Anyway, you can see here we're getting a little bit of volume built out. So a pullback into the 68.75s or lower is probably likely here. So here's the pullback to 69.25. Some profit taking. There you go, a little bit of initiative here. So let's see. All the scalpers are playing around here now. So it didn't quite get the 68.75s yet. We got to 69s, which is, you know, it's a prior area high. Not a lot of interest in this area here in this candle, right? It's not fun drawing trend lines and arrows and stuff in the number bars because it treats each of these like, I don't know, like fields, and you can only highlight in the middle of this field, right? So it's not fun, right? See how it goes to the middle and then it centers over here. So this is not a good chart to make your trend lines. Anyway, I got short here. I filled short at 70, but I'm out now. Just a scalp. That's it. I was out at 68.75. Right. Why? Because volume built up here. So let's see. Might go further, but might even test POC or something. POC may act like a magnet short term. We'll see. Right now the algos are, well, it's 11 o'clock, so but right now the algos are just chopping up short-term traders on low volume. You can see the volume's really crappy. So if folks start entering with poor location and their stops are too tight, right, and they're anticipating lower, then, you know, they liquidity, they're just going to go to wherever price is going to move towards stops. So that's where you had that downtrend line. You could see. Poor location means you probably stopped out if you shorted in this area or something. Anticipating here or something. And we might get there, but we also may just chop up and 10 minutes before the close, thump, get there in a few bars. That would be a return to what had been happening before last week. Chaz, if you're on the live stream, thanks for the compliment, my friend. I'm just looking at Twitter. I called a Ripple long. Just a technically bullish chart. They'll probably have news with regarding the SEC come out here pretty soon, if they haven't already. I don't follow any news for crypto anymore. I don't have time for it. Where is Ripple? Let's see. 83 cents? Yeah, cool. No, 81 cents, sorry. Little pullback here to what? Oh, who knows? Maybe it just rips. But I would think a pullback to 72 would be in order, but we'll see. Sometimes these things just keep ripping. It's a really nice breakout bar for Ripple here. When folks start sleeping on stuff, that's when and the price action just kind of curls up like that. Man, super bullish. Inverted head and shoulders, so like a head and shoulders continuation pattern. So yeah, Ripple looks mega bullish here. Mega bullish. Holy cow. If they get some sort of news, it's going to be over. Over for the shorts. Ripple really hasn't had its day in the sun yet here with this recent crypto pump. I think it's coming. Let's see, the measured move on Ripple is $1.60 or so. But I just said $1 plus on Twitter. Whatever. Stops or initiative buying here. I think it's just initiative buying. That's what I think. If I had my bookmap style chart open, I'll bet you we would see that an initiative buyer through this area took 2 or 3 ticks and market bought here. That would be my guess. But I don't have it open. Let's see, maybe I will just create a new chart for it or something. I have enough charts open. Well, we'll just stick with this. Anyway, well, this is now. Yeah, oops. I really like using this draw volume by price study that you can add to your control bar in Sierra chart, and then you can just sort of drag it, back here, and it'll just show you the volume for all the times that you add. So as you drag it, you can see how price develops, right? Right, we get that pullback low here at 39 whatever. The crazy contracts on the close. 235,000 5-minute here. And then you can see, right? So going back to Simsum Aleph, this is an example of why having the POC like this is so powerful, because all these players that bought the pullback here with that crazy 5 billion MOC dump, so they bought 235,000 contracts in 5 minutes, they're all averaged in from right here at 39.70ish. Right? As soon as we broke this, it's like it's off to the races. So all the fools that maybe got short here thinking, hey, we're going to be range bound, essentially, right, at all-time highs, right? They saw this as a rejection. But, you don't typically get 235,000 contracts bought at the close like that with the low travel candle, and it's bearish. So while everybody else was saying, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, I very clearly said, this is bullish, but whatever. A little back padding there. But I've been trying to share this concept with people for like the past year publicly on Twitter, and I get tons of people disagreeing with me on it, and more often than not, well, I think I've been right about 100% of the time on this kind of setup for the last year. So maybe I'm a little bit cocky, but that's because it fucking works. People have this whole idea of closing volume on lows wrong, and like I told somebody else on Twitter, hey, let's I've been sharing it, but not very many people are adopting it. Let's just keep it quiet so people can continue to be out of position, and we can play with big money without everybody knowing about it. So it's all good. But there's 10 people on YouTube here, so not enough to make a difference, probably. Yeah, but the part of me saying I've been right a lot is like, maybe unnecessary, but whatever. If it is cocky, yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I do like this tool. Really nice. And then there was another area here. Buy here, de-risk some, and then just smoke them some more. Strong hands right here. Let's see. And insiders. You know it's insiders. Because all of the numbers that came out with jobs, non-farm payroll here, right? In this candle here. So now we're broken out again out of this area here. I guess another way to think of it is off this area here, which is essentially a breakout, right? From this area. So off this area here, how many impulses have we had? Like strong impulses. Okay, we had a gap. We have another gap. Not really third day yet, is it? Right. That's why I'm not a huge fan of getting short here. I'm just not. I like on a higher time frame really popping this rising wedge, which because everybody draws this trend line and it's a bearish pattern, the liquidity is above. It's a nice breakout here. So anyway, the liquidity is above short term. And then maybe we get a move back down to test inside of this trend line that would, become maybe resistance to some longs, but I still think just because they bought here on crazy stupid volume right here with that 39.70. That's a crazy amount of volume. It almost makes me pause to even short this area. Especially when you consider the NASDAQ. I mean, the NASDAQ is potentially just getting started. Tesla with a nice bounce off of 686. Holy cow. Anyway, you guys can't see that, so. Yeah, I mean, the Qs are just ripping to the upside right now. 331. I mean, you kidding me? At the top of their channel, though, short term. You guys can't see it. 30-minute channel, it's at the top. So liquidity to 333-ish, 334 for QQQ. Yeah, but on the daily, we're just broken out and challenging all-time highs. We got resistance at 333. That would be value area high for QQQ, by the way. It would be 334, almost on the money. So we have a 1, 2, and we're at a third trend line tap here on QQQ. So I like it to push above that. Yeah. Very bullish. So I will look to be short here pretty soon on the E-mini, but not today, but pretty soon in terms of the trend. I think 727 was talking about 41.50. Excuse me, might get there rather soon. We'll see. Maybe not today, but I would love to see us get another gap. Yeah. NQ strong like bull, says Simsum. Yeah, it is pretty strong. That's a nice setup. Anyway, Tesla joining the party here, so that's interesting. Where is GME today? Let's see. Anyway, we're getting a little bit of a wedge action here on the 5 minutes, so Let's see if we bust a move here on the E-mini. Something's gonna happen off this area for sure. You can see it. Right. Stops above this high here, so stops are maybe at what, 70, 50? Yeah, 70, 50. So stops here. The way it's played out, I'd probably, oh, here. Yeah, stops are there. I'd probably lean bullish here. Yellow for stops, 40, 50. Okay. Back to GME on another screen. I feel like crap today, by the way. My 3-year-old was kicking me in bed all night last night. Man, this ACY stock today. Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that. But I'm curious, maybe it's a Reddit stock or something. Gotta be aware of the Reddit movement sometimes now. But no, ACY, I am not touching you. Ah, thanks, Simsum. Yeah, just tired. And hung out with family yesterday, and some of the family members are doing like ketogenic diet and stuff. So some of the desserts were, it's not sugar, it's like erythritol or some of the other things like that. And I tried them, and I've always struggled with digesting erythritol. Yeah, just very. I just don't digest it well, so that's causing me issues today. I think I just need to take a run or something. Yep, just locked in here. Not going anywhere. Who's gonna take initiative? Probably volume moves it either way here. I mean, duh, but I know I've mentioned this for a long time, but typically when you get a head and shoulders pattern, there we go. There you go. Come on. When you get a head and let's look in here. When you get a head and shoulders pattern intraday, like we have here, just got to remember I can't use my pin the same way. So like something like this, it typically leans bullish. Just so on a 5-minute chart, if you get this right here, it just typically does lean bullish. So we got all kinds of signals going on. High POC, head and shoulders, right? Already bounced off value area high, way above VWAP, hardly any pullbacks, so major trend day. So we're in a bit of a chop zone here. Not my type of confluence. He's got to know when to sit it out. For the newbie trader, they're like, but I'm going to take a position, and if I'm right today, well, then I'm gonna bolster my confidence for playing on days like today. But I'm just telling you that if there's a bunch of different things going on, you've got single prints underneath the markets, etc. Big move like this, big gap. You don't have a real tight kind of pattern where it comes up and then pulls back nicely with like a pennant, right? So let's say it pulled back like this, right? And then this was the impulse, right? Which would then clear out some longs, and then maybe it's starting to break up. That would take that long. But this kind of thing, maybe just not the best setup. I like to see markets pull back because again, sustainable markets and all. So we'll see. But anyway, in my experience on a 5-minute chart, when you get like this nice looking right leaning head and shoulders kind of thing, you don't take it for the bearish breakdown. That's just I don't know. I don't have any stats on it, but experience. Right? So this would be left shoulder. This would be head. This would be maybe right shoulder. And then break down here. But I don't take these. All right. So maybe support is down here in the 50s or something. What is VSA, Lucas? I think I sounded angry, but I'm not angry. I'm just asking. Can't believe it's already 11 o'clock. I haven't had any food yet. Is that volume study analysis or something? I don't know what VSA is. Oh, up thrust, lack of demand or supply volume, etc. helps me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm guessing it's volume. So Lucas in chat says, I have a bit of VSA in my analysis. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, he says, upthrust, lack of demand, supply volume, etc. helps me. You know who I really enjoy on YouTube is Trader Dale. He explains volume profile very nicely, and he thinks about it. I just found his YouTube channel over the weekend, and I was like, "Hi, this guy speaks my language." So I was enjoying his videos and just how well they were put together, and he's very clear. So it looks like a little bit of breakdown here. So let's see if there's any interest to sell the POS volume point of control here. Let's see if it comes in. A little bit. 500 contracts. So far you can see it in the time and sales, right? They're not really hitting the bid too hard, right? You see the ask is kind of getting nailed here. So not that much interest to even sell this little breakdown. Again, I don't like this move here for a bearish move. It's just a low. It could happen, but it's just lower probability for me. But anyway, Trader Dale's. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, he's pretty popular. Seems like. It's weird that I haven't even heard of him or seen him or anything like that. But really, he uses NinjaTrader, and he developed some volume profile studies. You can do the same thing in a Sierra chart. All built in. So, Sierra chart is just excellent value. Excellent value. But anyway, he's got some good information. Good videos. Back to Tesla here. Yeah, Tesla's interesting today. See, I get to trade my Interactive Brokers account on another screen. Futures, whatever. All of it, which is nice. I haven't been trusting my CQG routing lately. I get all kind of weird weird messages when I'm not even in position. It'll tell me things like, oh, 0 position sent to server, or just weird stuff. I'm just like, man, what is going on? Can't wait for Sierra Chart to come out with their CME routing of orders. That's going to be so nice. And it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? For them to do that. People use CQG or Rhythmic, and CQG has its own software. They have their own data feeds, and then they have their own routing. Why shouldn't Sierra have their own software, their own data, and their own routing? They're not a broker. CQG isn't a broker either. They're just doing data, routing, and software. They're not clearing your orders like an FCM. You're still going to have your broker. So, yeah. I think it would be really good for them to get the sort of the full offering and do what all their competitors have been doing for a long time. Clean it all up. And then it works better too, because they know everything about their coding and stuff like that. Yeah, Ken, they're working on it. I've never used VSA volume spread analysis. Oh, okay, Lucas. I've never done any of that, Lucas. You could probably educate me a lot on that. Yeah, Ken, it's official. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm attending to Twitter and whatnot. Here, Ken, I'll give you a link, man, to the Sierra Chart support board. It's a sticky up there. If you're logged in to Sierra Chart, you can always because they're updating their progress. Here, let me get this. I got so many screens open, it's ridiculous. Here it is. Upcoming CME routing. So if you're logged in, at the bottom left of each of Sierra Chart's posts, just hit thank you. And that lets them know that a lot of people are seeing this post, and they're more likely to get it done sooner if they possibly can. Although they've stated over and over that it's a very high priority, so, but still, I do recommend that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm actually following that thread because I want to know when it's done and how it's going. So at the very top of the whole thread, the first post, you can click follow, and then you'll get like emails to whatever email is associated with that user account that you're logged into. So that's a nice way to stay up on it because it is a locked thread, so only Sierra Chart is posting to that thread right now. So looks like some initiative buying from 4068. So let's see if they keep going. Kind of an unfinished auction here, looking like upside. You see that? 525 contracts, 240, 250 of 300 out of 623. So, that's a lot of positive delta there. What is that? So like 450 of the... I can't do the math in my head that quick. 470 of the 625 contracts are all buying. It's very rare to get a move like that where it just peters out right away. So, right, we got this area here that's resistance, but it wouldn't surprise me to see some explosion from this zone. Anyway, I took a 6 contract long from the 68.75, and I'm scalped out for 6 points, so it works for me. Whatever. I think we'll probably break it though, but at what point, And I'm not looking at my live stream anymore. Let's see. Ah, I can. Yeah, no problem. Tesla's breaking out here over... Yeah, just breaking out. Nice pullback. So Tesla's probably... Wouldn't be surprised. Measured move 708, 709, 710. But it's coming up to the close, so let's see. That's... Tesla looking awfully bullish here. So let's see if it if the S&Ps rip with that. I think it's very likely for us to push into that stop zone of 70, 50. Let's see what happens when we get there. If we get initiative, or if we get absorptive buyers coming back in, and if shorts are acting nervous here. Again, head and shoulders kind of pattern here, short term. I hate it. I hate it for short term, especially after a move like this. Thank you very much for the explanation, Lucas. So you're using candles for that. Is that correct, Lucas? For your VSA? Let's see how much of a delay I have. This would be one of the issues with Twitch that I probably wouldn't have as much of an issue with. Seems like the delay is a lot better. All right, so we hit some stops. Let's see. A little bit of buying on the pullback. I don't know if it was on the pullback as much. I didn't watch it as much as to break this level. Kind of a nice chart here to keep up. So that we remember. Well, and what's nice about using it like this is, the volumes are going to be relative to what time period this is covering. So you get an idea of how volume gets distributed a little bit more. Whereas, if you have separate volume profiles, say something, well, these are you using weekly volume profiles. So this is the volume profile for this week. I came up on that idea looking at Trader Dale's YouTube videos. So, credit where credit is due, right? He uses this, and so I thought, well, I'm going to give that a shot because he seems like he really knows a lot about volume profile, in all honesty. So anyway, I put it up on a chart here and decided, you know what? I'm going to look at sort of the distribution on a weekly. I do this with the TPO chart, but I don't often do it with candles. And so, this gives you kind of a nice perspective to see how price moved away. But anyway, going back to this 30-minute candle where I'm just using the draw volume by price study. Nice breakout. Here we go. This volume is going to be drawn relative to the volume for this whole time period. So, if you do this, again, it's comparing visually volumes based on this whole time period. So you get to see, if you get huge volume here and you get a big node like today, right? if you get a big node like today, you can kind of see where the distribution or even accumulation is occurring here. So that's really nice. Whereas, if you did intraday volume by price studies, you sometimes don't always see that, okay, this volume relative to what's distributing up here, possibly, if it is distribution, is, maybe it's much greater. You can kind of accumulate it down here and kind of look at it, but, or you can put the numbers themselves, but just for quick visual reference, this is a little bit better, a little easier. Oh, jeez. I just messed that up. All right, let's undo this. There you go. So this is, I do like using this draw volume by price study. It's nice. All right, if we do something like this, this is nice too. Oh, come on. And that's, by the way, the logic of using this, right? Is part of the reason why I do for the composite profile. It's based on visible bars, right? So I always know what the composite profile is including, right? So if I just do this, see how it changes? So it's just based on what's shown from this edge to over here. But this does the same thing, but for maybe zoomed in periods. So if you want to take this and move it down here, right? Now you see what that looks like, right? You can see how the volume developed, right? So at these lows, not a lot of interest to sell, which is, I was looking at that this weekend. I'm going, man, there was not a lot of interest to sell these lows. Again, relative to this whole area. But if you go look at the intraday, right? Does that change? Nope. Just not a lot of interest at these lows. So anyway, let's go look this way. See how the study, I almost want to point with my finger. See how the study changes here. Right. This is a nice way to look at volume profile. So anyway, that's where we're at. So building a bit of a node here. So let's see what happens. So now let's look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that we're right up here. So doesn't surprise me that we're building out a volume node here. It's kind of like the breakout for the uptrend line on the weekly. Excuse me. And yeah, a bit of resistance too. But, certainly liquidity to the upside, I think. I've said that over and over today. So tried and failed here. So far, we'll see. But they got the stop, see that? Definitely. Again, I didn't see this play out in real time. I don't know if we had a bunch of stops. That's where the bookmap style would probably be pretty useful to look at right now. Because you could see, just in the best bid ask lines, you could see that, maybe price, if the best bid ask lines were like this or something, and then price, these didn't move, right? And then price shot above, and then these didn't, maybe they moved up just a little bit and then came back down, then stops got hit. So that's one of the reasons to use that bookmap style kind of chart. We'll just undo this. Anyway, there's our stop there. So if I was a little more patient, I could have got more. This looks like a pretty strong rejection. Let's go look at Twitter and see if there's some news. I don't see anything. Oh, sorry. Bars, high-low close, and only the close interests me. Red, If closed down from previous bar, green up. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, Lucas. That's cool. Yeah, the closes tend to make are tend to be the most important. So, oh, you see how I have all kinds of space here on the right side. So what I like to do is, oh, turn off the left side. I'm sorry, the lock fill space, and then lock it again. All right, that way I'm utilizing my whole chart. So that's why I have a lock fill space button on my control bar. It really helps. Well, 4070, so we got, 8 to 10 ticks here of covering, essentially. So they're distributing 8 to 12 ticks here, which is interesting because that is a little bit of a change from this area and before. So it's good to note. Come on, there you are. Yeah, Simsum, I don't know enough about that. So I don't want to speak to that. But well, the cautious side of me highly doubts that that's possible. But, well, again, if I don't have the knowledge, I probably shouldn't speak to it. But if you held a gun to my head and told me you have to bet whether or not Bookmap can track stops through ID, I'd say they can't. But that's just me. Maybe the CME through the ID of the order does indicate if a stop has been hit, but I don't know that, so. But if you can find that for me, I would be grateful. That'd be really good to know, because that would really change the way I saw how institutions would be able to track whether stops were hit or not. But it doesn't sound like something the CME would do, to be honest. I'm short off of 69, by the way. just think we're going to get some downside here, but you know, we'll see. Oh, yeah, appreciate that, Simsum. If in the webinar they say some proprietary algorithm or something, then I don't know. I've just seen some spurious claims. And I covered some here at 67.75. I wish it was lower, but that's where I see the data on the footprint here. So I'm happy to try to de-risk with these guys. There we go. Sweet. And I'm out here at 66.75. I just see a volume note here. So I saw this as volume here, trapping longs. It may go a lot further. And then I saw this as de-risking. And I saw this as essentially resistance. So as we came, opened a new candle, held through all this, and I started to cover in here. So I'd actually probably looking for, if you're scalping, just based on the footprint for short rotations, probably in the 63s area is where I'd look for a long. Yeah, that's a nice area. You get a little volume node here. But again, big POC here. Lots of volume today here. Interesting, starting to expand the volume node down. So probably we may see some. This is tricky. This is tricky. My first thought is to get short for expansion, but you're running into a buyer here, essentially, at 66.50, which this has been an area before. So if it was an area before, and it was, that could be short covering. So we'll see. $19. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. I do appreciate your if you could link it or something. It's on YouTube or whatever. Yeah, 66.50 looks like was shorts covering from that area, because that was a prior battle zone. So yeah, choppity chop. Let's see, almost an hour before. Let's go look at something here. Yeah, I'd probably be looking more likely for a long here. No, Simsum, I didn't get it. If you're on Telegram, then I can get it there, but I think not everybody can send links on the, like the admins can on this Google Livestream chat, but it's part of the reason it's such a pain. If I just went over to Twitch or something and then uploaded the videos to YouTube after the fact or something, it might be a lot more user friendly, so people can, I don't know, chat and share links. Again, I'm not too familiar with Twitch. I I kind of looked at it this weekend. Look at that initiative buying right up through there. I'm piecemealing all kinds of stuff right now, like in terms of this channel. You know, like I have a Telegram so you guys can share your charts with me. Because like there's again no way to share a chart unless it's a link or something. So anyway, that's why I built out the Telegram channel, and then but it's like, golly. So now I'm going to do Twitch. We'll see. Eventually, I'll probably just move to Twitch if it works out. Anyway, the Telegram is in, like, let's say you go to my main channel, in the banner, the top right, there's a Telegram invite link. It's a private channel, so you need an invite, and that invite is in the, again, top right of the YouTube channel. I didn't want to make it public because then you just get all these spammers and stuff. So I figure if people are on the YouTube channel, then it'll mainly just be people who are interested in trading and stuff like that and have a good dialogue already. You know, Lucas, the video that I linked above, it ends in AG-3Y. That's mine on Footprint, and I kind of go over the basics a little bit, and I think it's a useful video. But Market Delta has videos. Axia Futures has good videos on Footprint, and they're very lengthy and in depth. So yeah, and you'll get some fluff in there. So it just depends. But if you want kind of a real basic introduction, Axias they're long. We're talking hours and hours and hours, but it's worth it, especially if you're feeling like you need you need real thorough explanations. You just want a solid introduction. But my Footprint videos maybe, I don't know, 35 minutes long or something. I have a few up there explaining what delta is, etc. But if you don't know what delta is, it's like the first time. I do explain it in my Footprint video, I think. So anyway, Axia Futures is good. Market Delta is pretty good. Market Delta, I don't know that they're even around anymore. They were the originator of Footprint, and then software came out like Sierra Chart, and yeah, basically all the platforms started incorporating it with decent data feeds. So I think it put them out of business. Do I Earl Charles, let's see. Do I ever go over my trade statistics? Yeah, I do, but not on YouTube or anything. March was not a phenomenal month for me at all. It just wasn't. But yeah, I do go over, excuse me, I do go over my trade statistics pretty regularly, personally. But the last year was very good. Jay, yeah, with the white, Sierra chart is painful for me. I'm kind of an aesthetics guy. So for me, it's Wait, hold on. I'll be right back. I think my family might be taking off, so I want to check that. And I'll be back in a few minutes here. Okay. Oh man, broke down, huh? Anyway, I am starting to get long here. Oh, thank you for the link, Simsum Aleph. How long can you get? Okay, not a lot of interest here at 62s. Let's see. I'm long from 62.75. Let's see. I think 64.75 they'll probably defend very short term. Well, those are all never mind. You can see that's all negative delta there, so it might have just been someone covering. So all right. Yep, they're covering down here in the 63s. So that works. I went in big on the 62. Now I'm at 62.50 average. Oh, this will be a nice area though to play. Right on this volume node, if we go a little lower, like 60s, you get some capitulation, but you'll also get shorts covering. So I like it. Oh, T notes. Am I able to slide it around? Something special. Here, let me. I'm a little behind on chat, so. Oh. All that is. So I moved it up here. So I've got a few instances of Sierra charts going. My second instance is my interactive brokers account, and that I do equities trading on that, and that's just my equities quote board essentially. So I track the indexes a little bit, and then I track large caps, and then I track movers, sort of my intraday list. So that's all it is, man. So nothing too special. So those are separate quote boards. Maybe they look like they're attached or something. But yeah, they do move. Come on, tried to get long at 61. You really? Do I have to buy up? Whatever. Not gonna buy up. still long from 6250. Bastards. Stops though, they were hitting stops. You could tell on the footprint. So my footprint, when it turns yellow like that, it just means that it's like 95% or greater of the bid or ask volume of the total volume of that tick level occurred, I guess. And so it turns it yellow when that is met. So short term, you saw it turn yellow here, just yellow, yellow, yellow. So you know it's like stops. If I had the bookmap chart open, then you'd probably see like the best bid and ask, and then the price would probably pop above there, or not. I don't know how price is moving, but that would be my guess. Maybe I'll make that chart here. Let's see. Nah, I won't do it. It's gonna take me too long. Anyway, I'm gonna scroll up here. NQ Scalper, let's see. NQ Scalper says, good afternoon. Lots of longs above 65. Big bid holding. If they pull it, could be a good evening. Yeah, NQ Scalper. CJ, appreciate it. It is homely, Jay. Let's see. Okay, Lucas. Yeah, you'll probably learn a few tricks from mine. And I explain why I use the net deltas the way I do, rather than, I guess, diagonal deltas. So just a little less math for me, and I tend to be able to see volume nodes and where they're absorbing a little bit easier for me. But some other traders have mentioned they like the dominant sort of the diagonal delta setup because they like seeing total contracts and whatnot at certain levels, and that's part of their signal strategy. And so it just depends how you use it. For me, this is a little easier, like with this setup. But yeah, you'll definitely learn some kind of more pointed ways of using footprint though in my video for sure. But it's been a while since I've watched my own video or looked at it, so but I remember kind of describing some strategies and sort of the way it works. So maybe that's useful. Let's see. Bu- 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 bu. My interpretation of orders is what's missing in my footprint game. Make a video about it? Of orders? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm pissed that I didn't get filled at 61. That was where I wanted to get filled. So little expansion here. Let's see if 64, 65 holds. If this is a longer term buyer, right, buying for the close, and they all of a sudden go initiative here, then all these short-term initiative sellers are going to get bent over, probably to POC. So I'll hold out on that. That's what I'm looking at. And then we'll see if we get some taper into the 66 to 67s. We'll see. There's a seller here at 64, so let's see. I took some profit into 63.75 because of that. Like right away, just boop, saw it and just hit the bid. Because I don't know the future. So I took off half there. So let's see if it happens up through 65 here. Initiative here at 64.25. So let's see. Someone's spending some money, so let's see. Alright, pulling those 61 bids here. Yeah, hitting a little bit of a wall there, huh? But 1,000 contracts up here, typically pushes up a bit higher. It's now a low volume node intraday, so the fact that we're spending so much time here now, maybe we go fill it in a bit. Let's see. $200 lots at 63.75 here, so let's see what it does. It's a single 200 lot bid. That's what I was getting at. Still hasn't filled. Oh, there it is. Yeah, whoever filled there instantly bought afterwards. That's good. It's good for my long, I think. I hope. Yeah, refilling on 63.75, two 100 lots there. Interesting spot here. New 5-minute candle. Yeah. Oops. Downside is incomplete a little too, so we'll see. Hasn't really tested with a little bit of taper here. Yeah. 10 SMA is overhead. So the 10 SMA is sort of correlated now to this right here. Right, let's see, 10 SMA is up here at 66.25. So we got this, and short term we have this, so it's probably going to pop it. So we got some 2,400 negative deltas here. Most of which came here, so this is nice. Again, this long, so no interest on this candle to buy. Let's see if we build some volume right here. So if it kind of builds out, kind of like, oh geez, not good to like. So if this is the volume profile or something, I'm using arrows, but anyway, if we build kind of like in here, we build up, and it's kind of starting to. So there you go. So we'll probably pop this, but short term, this is all resistance, so I will take off right into the 66, 67s. You see the order flow here, time and sales. Well, I guess you can see the crossbar. What you guys don't see though, when I'm moving around, is you don't see my yellow like highlighter thing. So that's one reason. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of this position. Out of the long. So that's nice. See how the volume I was talking about, it built here, then it exploded out. So it's just, you don't know that price is going to move up, but typically, you know what? I'm gonna switch my screens over so that you guys can see more of my settings and all of that. Because right now I'm just using source screens here, and it just doesn't allow you to see. It's just so much easier for me to capture the whole center screen here. So I'll be right back. Give me a minute or two.
So I'm here to come to sell them again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here now, guys. Eat hot.
I'm still here. I'm just moving screens around here. Let's see. We'll put that one in. That's the ticket. All right. Let's move this around. Sorry, just doing some adjusting here. All right. That's there. Time and sales is there. SC1 charts only. That's gone. Get rid of the quote board. Get rid of the other one. We will put time and sales over. We'll just leave it up over the footprint actually. Alright, so time and sales is here. That works. Okay. So time and sales is. Actually, we'll just put it off to the side. Forget it. It's a little better here. Alright, now let's see. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. And then we'll just do this. Alright, now you can see everything, huh? Alright. Let's flip it over and get into sim mode. So I'm not showing stupid things. Let's see. Not stupid, but you know what I mean. And get that over here. Get that over there. We'll just put time and sales near the bottom there. I gotta clean up stuff here real quick. That'll go here. That'll go there. Alright. We'll move this over a bit. Time and sales will go on the side. Meanwhile, breaking POC here. That's resistance. Let's make sure I'm not doing anything silly. Alright. There you go. So many screens. Oh, Lucas, I'm glad. And any questions you have or feedback helps me to talk. Because, like, you know, I talk about a lot of the same things over a lot of the live streams, but then I switch it up a little bit, but then I get tired of talking about those same things. And maybe if it's someone brand new on the live stream, they haven't heard me talk about rule of three or auction theory or whatever, classical charting patterns or TPO charts or footprint or the bookmap style charts. You know, not everybody's watched the videos, but I start to feel like I'm just repeating the same thing over and over. For me it gets really old, but I have to recognize that for some of you guys it's not. It's brand new. So when you ask questions, it helps me to talk about certain things that maybe are a little more relevant for you. So keep the questions coming, my friend. So Jay Bush says, can't wait to balance for 3 days straight. LOL. Hope they didn't put in the entire range of the week between last Friday and today. Yeah, it's possible. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see if we get filled here. At 66. This is sim now, so resistance 67.25 maybe. Nice pullback candle though. See, I like this delta, negative delta area in this past candle for scalping. Right there, essentially. Boom. Out for a point at 66.75, right? You see as they were hitting that, and the ask just came in the whole time. So HFTs, icebergs, whatever it was, scalping. You could see it right here. Well, it wasn't there, was it? It was right here. But new 5-minute bar. So you get a little retracement and then foop to the downside. So this is the breakout area here. Tricky, tricky. Man, who was asking me that question? Was it you, Lucas, about the footprints and adding, or was it Sean? He's probably, he may not even be here. Sean, what was his name? Sean something. Sounded like, last name was like a first name. Sean Zach. Oh, that's it. Yep, Sean Zach. I'm short here, by the way. In the sim. Here, I'll show you. Oh, no interest. Out. So got the stops here. Why short, you say? Just the way this candle developed. When you get a candle that quickly retraces, and they move it here for stops, but they don't hardly get any, and then you initially see initiative sellers, typically pushes down. Plus overhead POC, so. Yeah, Sean. Okay, so I'll show you. Here you go. Excuse me. I need water. So this is my footprint settings, and then basically this bar. So this bar below, I rename these studies. Well, anyway, this is bar delta below bar. So I like to rename the study to exactly what it is. So bar delta, bar, and then the delta sign below bar. Okay. So bar delta below bar. I like to just rename it exactly what it is. So that's here, bar delta below bar. But the study, is it just bar delta below bar study? I think there is that study. Anyway, let's make sure. Bar delta, yeah, it's the bar delta below bar study. Right. It's funny, I renamed it to the exact thing it is. That's stupid. Anyway, I was in the mode of renaming everything accurately to what it was, so it's funny. So anyway, this just is based on the main price graph, right? It's in chart region 1. It's offset in ticks, 1, right? So not on the same level, but below by 1. And then you just put the short name in, and then, the auto coloring is just based on whether it's positive or negative delta, right? So if it's a negative delta, it'll be red and show that little negative sign. So, just based on positive, negative. This will come in there. Just leave that. And then if you want it kind of lined up here, you got the have to have, so you put a name label in there and you horizontal align it right. Because if you did right edge, it'd be up against here and then covered by this, or this would cover that. So, right. And then let's see. Can you guys even see? No, you can't see everything. So anyway, vertical line is just centered over the tick area. So there's that one. Right, so you don't do a value label, obviously, because it would probably put it somewhere over here. Just be redundant to what's already here. And then there's the bar volume below bar. Let's see. This one is the above below bar as text. So let's go above. I think it's what, above. No, see, it doesn't. So it's under study subgraph. Let's see. There you go. So study subgraph, above below bar is text. Oh, price breaking down. And then so it's this one, and then you're essentially just looking at volume right here. Right, so I have a volume study added to this chart, and then I'm offsetting it in ticks by 2, so it doesn't overlap this. Right, so that makes sense, doesn't it? And then for the label name, which is using the short name, I just put bar V for volume, right? So it's like an arrow saying that this is bar volume. And then for this one, which is the bar session, delta above bar. Okay, so that one's using the study subgraph, again, above, below bar as text. So you know you obviously put the location at the top of the bar, offset and ticks 1, and then again, session, delta, right? I just keep it nice and short. Mainly this is for people who are looking at my charts. I know what these are. I don't need to put a name on there. And then again, with the horizontal alignment to the right, I don't put a value label. It's redundant to this. And then I like to not put all the studies up here. I like to keep it clean. So anyway, that's it. Real simple. Oh, the study subgraph is the cumulative delta bars. Again, do you see cumulative delta bars here? No, but it's here. There it is. It's hidden, as I don't really care to show cumulative delta somewhere down here or something. Could I unhide it? Yeah, I could. Look, there's the cumulative delta bars now. So I don't need it in there. Whatever. I put it up here. I can keep track of it. So deltas are falling, right? By 200 deltas here. Which you kind of expect that, right? Price is falling. So whatever. Although recently you've had all kind of cumulative delta divergence here. But yeah. Not so much today as really. So anyway, that's how you add it, man. Probably so your volume shows decimal values. Probably, let's see, bar volume. Probably has something to do with this value format. So if yours is set like this, just set it to 1. That's all right, Jay Bush. Have a good one. So it's probably that. I don't know. Maybe make that change, see if that works. Let's take a look here. We're gonna go ahead. See, Sean, there's so much delay. You're like asking a question. I'm like, what? And then you say thank you. So you must have solved it. That's good. Let's see. What was I going to do here? Chart. Duplicate. We're going to call this. We're going to rename it to bookmap. All right. I'll go to analysis. All right. I'm going to have to change this, I think. All right. Best bid ask is in there. Yeah, these are candles, so that's no bueno. So let's go here and do, was it what was it? I think it was stair step on close. All right. Yep. And then it was number of trades, 100. Sweet, Zach. Or Sean. Sweet. Let's see here. How many days? This is too much. I should have been like 5 days. All right. That market depth historical graph is showing the actual quantities. All right. So we have this set where it's going to turn red at 500, and then the lowest quantity is 80. Show quantity in numbers and bars and after last bar. We're just gonna say only after last bar now. Let's clean this up here. All right, now we're talking. Let's see if we can find where they swept several levels of the book here. Let's see. That's something that a lot of people don't know. You can kind of see in Sierra charts. Sierra chart very easily. Choppity chop, not a lot of initiative here. So this green line and the red line are best bid ask, and then the white line in the background is where, you know, price actually went. So, well, this is quantity 100 trades, so it's only printing sort of a new close on the line after 100 trades. So I find that that's a nice setting to show you. Let's see, we're only going back how many minutes? A few hours ago, 10:30. I had mentioned I thought that we swept 2 or 3 ticks, and I'm looking for that actually. But nothing too aggressive, actually. Maybe we'll see that around the close. Oh, nice. Price pushing up. Anyway, whatever. I now have this chart again, so that's nice. So we see some where liquidity is here a little bit. We could do this on the footprint as well, by the way. We just go turn this on. Market depth historical graph, right? It's hidden right now. You can do the same thing. It just gets a little more, a little less clean, but you know, I've got the text set to black, so it doesn't interrupt with the white text of actual volume as much. So, whatever. And this is useful because this is what was. This is looking back in time, right? 342 on the ask, then 351, then 372, then 395, then 420, right? So more liquidity was added through here above POC. And, you know, retail traders are going to see 10 ticks. So they're going to see, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to see this, right? So the actual liquidity was making a difference, essentially, right? 2 levels of 300 plus up to 400 here at this top, and then that was enough to push the market back down. And then let's see here. Let me check the settings real quick, make sure. All right, so this highest quantity for coloring is max 700. So we'll go to 500, and then lowest quantity is at 100 here. I don't know, we'll go 75. See how that looks. Yeah, it's a little much. We'll go like 125. There you go. It's a little easier on the eyes. So that's the max range. Anyway, all right, now we can see where the liquidity is. Hey, 412. Has that been sitting there all day? That's a question. That's a good question to ask. Yep, it sure has. All day. So go look at the DOM. What's sitting up there at 470,077? So a 312 lot is sitting at 4,077. So they've been there all day, just a ready, waiting seller. We could go back using this and see when they actually added it. Let's see. We'll move this book map down here. Let's scrunch this chart up. So there's the liquidity up there, 4,077. All right, we're as compressed as we can get here. So let's just move this chart and see, where was this? How long has it been there? 9 a.m. my time. All right. All right, added around, let's see, just past 7 a.m. my time, so 10 a.m. Eastern time, this liquidity was added. So it hasn't been there for, except, you know, maybe 30 minutes after the open. So the majority of the market, let's see, wouldn't even have seen this. But it is up there. So, anyway. Alright, let's move this thing back out so we can kind of see the way price moves a little bit more. Really think that this line needs to be a little bit wider here. Let's see this chart. Let's go into global settings, graphic settings, and come on. All right, line on close. Let's make that 2. A little thicker. It's easier to see. Okay, cool. And let's, it's already bright white. Okay, cool. That's easier to see, isn't it? That where price is moving relative to the best bid ask. So I've got the large volume trade indicator set to show size relative to whatever's on the screen, not for the whole session. So studies, large volume trade indicator. See, marker size color based on visible bars. So if we change that to all loaded chart bars, see that? You can see they're all about the same size. So you might, because there's been some larger trades earlier, you may have to go with your indicator size. You know, maybe do like, I don't know, 65 and whatnot. But anyway, the size is going to get bigger as we come into the close. So you got to turn stuff like this off and adjust your settings into the close. So anyway, I like this at 55, and I like it visible bars, because you know, it's you want to see when in the short term when behavior changes. At least I do if I'm using this. Look at how colorful it is now. So we can do something even like this to clean it up. If I'm like, yeah, this is just too much garbage. Don't care about all these, you know, low volume or low quantity orders. You can just say like, so use secondary numbers, color for quantities greater than. So if there's something on the book greater than 500, the text will be bright pink, so it'll alert me. But you know, I could do the same thing by just saying, okay, lowest quantity for coloring, let's say 300. Highest quantity for coloring, 600. So it's only going to get me in that range. See that? So now it's a little nicer for liquidity. See that? You see that 425 up there. So as we come into the close and liquidity starts to increase, now we'll see where the actual big time liquidity is. You know, we got 14 minutes until the close. So that's something that you can kind of do. On the fly, just, you know, change these. So maybe we'll do that for this too, right? Studies. Where is it? Market depth right at the top. Don't really like the colors here, but whatever. Oh, prices move. Highest quantity 600, lowest 300 or 250 or something. I don't know. Let's see how that looks. All right. There you go. Really wanted to show you guys. You can see when several levels of the book sweep, because you can see it using this. Liquidity right there. Go take it out. It's nothing at the close. They're just gonna gobble that. Like, look at that flow. It's nice. On time and sales, I think it's real nice. Right there. We'll probably see some book sweeping here because we're coming into 12:50. So, you know, usually get that algo, or sorry, 3:50 my time or Eastern time, and you get the algos that typically buy or sell during that time, and they sweep. So let's see if we get it. Let's see if we get the price moving in one direction while the best bid and ask are still down here. So you get large separation between the two. May not happen, but we'll see. And why is that really useful? Because when you see someone take out several levels of the book, you get right there. You see it? You see how price? There it is. Boom. You could see someone's getting frisky. So best bid ask here. So best bid, best ask. They bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels of the book. So 5 ticks. So scroll back in time and sales. Are we going to see it? There it is. You see that? Right there. So when you set up your time and sales, like I've talked about in all my videos, that's what you get to see. You get to see, oh, someone clearing the book. A lot of people sell you this stuff. As like, oh, I coded my own special stuff. And it's like, no, you have all the it's not even going to be that much of a difference to some of this stuff that is being sold out there. Might be a slight difference because they're never going to be perfect the way that they calculate it, because it's what they're looking at in part is essentially some of this, but they're also looking at the time stamping, and it's never going to be perfect. This gets you just about as accurate as, so you know that this was a massive buying right here. So even though the large volume trade indicator shows you how much was transacted at each tick, right? It doesn't show you that it was one big order sweeping the book, but this best bid and ask does show you that it swept the book. That's why it's useful. Right? So if you could code something that said when the best bid and ask is below or above the current price line, because this is like microseconds here, right? Then we have something that swept the bid or the ask, then you'd be good to go in terms of, you know, maybe getting something down here that showed like a large book sweeping order. So anyway, that's what I was wanting you guys to see right there on this book map style. It's super cool, man. It's super cool that Sierra chart has all this built in. 470 on the book. You see that liquidity pop in? 484. Oh, you guys can't see this. Oh, son of a gun. You don't see the DOM. Maybe we should include the DOM. I don't know. The time and sales and this is pretty cool, but let's see here. I'm on a sim anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right. Let me move this all around here. Get out of studio, into studio mode. Move this to the other side. All right, you're gonna see stuff move around here. All right, now open it up here. Oh, there you go. See what I'm seeing, I think. Oh, I have so many things. All right, whatever. Time and sales is sloppy. We'll put it up here somewhere or something. Let's put it right. Where are we gonna put it? Maybe here? Yeah, that's good. It'll never get covered up there. All right, that's time and sales there. So here's the DOM, and this BMO field and AMO, these are just bid or ask orders. It's showing you quantities of 10 or greater. Right, so when I'm looking at this liquidity, 325, right here at 65, you see that? It's a 100 lot, a 12 lot, 20, 13, a 10, and 11 lot. So someone decides to play big here. Hey, there we go. Eat it. Eat it. You're going for it. Anyway, so this at 77, when I go up here and I look at my DOM, right? You see that? It says 312 up there. That's a 312 lot that's been sitting there since whatever 7:02 a.m. this morning. I think we figured, we looked at and saw that that's where it was added. So this gets a little messy here, but it's kind of interesting to look at, you know, as we get nearer to the close, where they sweep the book and how they sweep the book. Oh, let's move this to where we can see time and sales. Sorry about that. Lots of liquidity here. So you could see someone bought 3 levels of the book, but the orders are flying back and forth so fast that the best bid ask didn't even move away. But you could see it in time and sales, just like thump, bought 3 ticks. But you know, the CME is desperately matching buys and sells here. So you don't get the separation like you did before. So anyway, for 390, so okay, so what's there on the book, right? 397, okay, 100 lot. So 402 on the ask. So, you know, what's the biggest order there at 4073? The biggest order is what? 50 lots maybe? That's what it looks like. Maybe I need to widen this out here like that so we could see it all. There you go. We'll do the same thing with the bid. All right, there you go. 5 minutes left. All right, we can move it out like this. That's nice. So look at the 650 that came onto the book here, right? What's there at 40.75? 655. What's the biggest? 354 lots right there. So that may act as a little bit as some sort of resistance. Maybe when we get to like 9 or 10 ticks away, maybe price moves up to here and then bounces a few ticks back. So little micro scalping strategies. The problem with that I have is most people aren't quick enough to do that. And you're talking about the close, where this is just liquidity. So if they want to buy, it's just going to rip. But if it weren't the close, right, that 354 lot up at 75, if we bounced 9 or 10 ticks off, right, and retail saw that, you think it would retrace a little bit? Yeah. So, you know, maybe if you wanted to use an attached order type, right, and you say like, okay, little trick here. 8 or 9 ticks away, so you could sell this and then there, move your take profit like that. And then if it kept going, well, right, it's obviously not a one-to-one risk reward, but it's a micro scalp is what it is. So if you get filled here, maybe it poop, 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 and then comes in, but you got to watch that 75 level. Because we're how many ticks away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they see it here. All right. Oh, liquidity added. All right, let's move it down. So maybe that's not the level. The micro level is here. Foomp. Because you're looking at what? 10 ticks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, okay, so they'll see it. If price moves to this level, they will see the bid up at 75. And they'll probably want to sell it down a little bit. So we'll see if we even get there. I don't know. They're hitting the bid right now. Let's see. 2 minutes left. This is where volume comes in at the close, right at 2 minutes till. So, oh, this is all messed up here. Whatever. Get rid of that one. Kidding me? Yeah, it's messed up. Oh, what's happening? No more internet? Really? Total freeze? That's what it looks like. Psh. Man, what happened there? Yeah. Total disconnect from data. I hope nobody else had issues with CQG right there. Or with their data. Maybe it's my internet. I don't think it is because I've got other things open and it was fine. Son of a bitch. Well, that's stupid. This is part of the problem. Hurry up and finish your routing. Please, Sierra chart. All right. Anyway, big sell right off that level. Anyway, we'll just cancel all this. Into the close. What's the volume here? 85,000 contracts at the close here. Still some buyers up here. For all-time highs, it's pretty high volume on a pullback. So, you know, T+2 going forward is going to be 91,000 contracts, so a little less weighted. T+1, or today's 5-minute Close is almost 86,000 contracts. So the close was here. So Vladimir Putin, he says, so you position trade. I don't know what you mean by that. Anyway. Tough to get tough to get out of a day where you've got volume at the highs like that. What is that, a P profile? Yeah, nice P-shaped. Liquidate the shorts. Who wants to sell this? Who wants to sell this? That's the question. We're essentially still closing on highs though. So not great for T+2. Not great at all. But we never expanded into the 4100s. No face rippers, but nice gap. Let's see if they sell it down overnight. Anyway, we're going to get rid of all this garbage. When you have a nice amount of volume right here at the close like this, that's why I scalped here on this sim. So right here, this 10,000. So this is the close, right? So when you come below like this, it's very often that we just come right back to the close. It's a nice close, 90,000 contracts. So you get a little back and forth chop here. So you just fade extremes, or if you have an area that was either like this, LVN, that's hard to see. Oh, you know what? I can use my little deal here. This is what I was wanting to use earlier. Anyway, so you see you have like a low volume node here. So, and this is all the volume here. So you can oftentimes, I got this again on a sim. I'm just doing it really quick, instinctually. I got long right in here, and then I just covered right back into the close, essentially here. Don't care about catching tops, because you know how are you going to do it anyway, right? Volume just kind of fades. It fades. So you're just playing excess to middle of the range. It's common. So anyway, I'm over here on a sim. I would have liked to be on my live account just doing it, but I closed my other version of Sierra chart that's connected to Interactive Brokers, because when I lost what looks like an internet connection I was like, uh-oh, what's going on here? So anyway, let's exit this. I don't know. I don't know, Ken. We'll see. If we can get above the highs, and if we pull back and hold the pullback, and then start to make our way up again, then probably, you know, probably the 4100s or something. We'll see. But if we sort of break 4060, then we have singles, which, you know, they like to fill overnight. And then back in the RTH, if we get down there, sometimes it goes back and tests it again too. So, you know what, we have singles into on the TPO right here, 4050, right? Then below that we have gap. So, you know, if it comes down here, you just have to see how if it tapers out. If you get essentially in the overnight session, if we get excess on the TPO from singles, then, you know, may take some time to sort of come back down through these gaps. I mean, higher time frame, we got all kind of gaps, man. Look at that. Look at the size of these election gaps. They're huge. Huge, huge, huge gaps. These gaps all occurred, what, on this weekly bar here? 1, 2, 3. You know, Biden elected. Oh my gosh, look at how bullish. So, I mean, look at the, and this is one, all happened in this weekly bar, just gapalicious. So, you know, short term, we mine the gaps, but we'll just have to see the way price reacts up here. Right now, it's, you know, nice little impulse. And, you know, if we hold this area, the TPO value areas, essentially. All right, let's collapse this so it's cleaner. If we hold this value area overnight and just chop around, wouldn't surprise me. But if we try to make a break for it, then, well, okay, let's look here on, what was it that we were looking at? Right? This isn't really trend line based, it's more channel based. So, you know, would it be possible to come up here? Absolutely. After breaking out of this base, you know, absolutely it's possible. So, kind of see this is all just balance, this whole area. Very, very possible. Lot of position in this area. So, you know, measured move takes us up to over 4,200. So let's see. I wouldn't be looks like range to me, but got a lot of low volume in here and some weak structure. Singles down to 40.50. So I don't know. We have scenarios to play. How price reacts around certain areas gives us an idea, but I don't have a crystal ball. Yeah, Lucas, virgin points of control. Yeah, I agree. And we have a lot of them. I have a VPOC chart, so essentially if I load the analysis for it, it'll show me all the virgin points of control. And there's a lot of them. Oh yeah, yeah. I get. Hey, the most important thing with trading is managing risk, my friend. So, you know, I've got this picture to the left of me that says Wall Street panic as stocks crash. It's dated October 24th, 1929, and it says billions lost, wave of selling engulfs the financial market. So, you know, I would love to be a seer and be like, well, I'm buying this and I'm holding. I'm holding until we get to the perfect top, but that's just not the way it works. So every day when I see, you know, markets get a little frenzied, a little excited, I play very conservatively and try to make my living and control risk. Hopefully make more money than I lose. That is the idea. But I am no furu, FinTwit guru. Yeah, I mean, that's nice and that's nice in theory. Buy when the streets are red. Let's go test that theory, right? Against what happens on the right side of the chart. Here we are. Okay. Here we are. We got a pullback. All right. What is this? This is a This is a left shoulder. This is a head. This is a truncated right shoulder. It's got a measured move all the way up to here. That's the measured move. Okay? So if you're playing this weekly time frame pattern, which we're just grinding up nice healthy pullbacks, right? 3,600 is the target. Then we get COVID, right? So then the next week, oh, sorry. Let me get out of here. The next week we see a candle like this. So there's support, okay? Right. What are you going to do? Buy the red, right? We broke support. So this is already support and it's red, right? And yes, it's COVID. I get it. It was crazy volume, but that's death. Look at the volume. Super spike, right? Even more than this, right? So that's death. In the moment, right side of the chart, that is death. Okay, so. Oh, nice bounce. Well, if price bounces here, are you holding or are you selling? It's really important to know. Right? Oh, that's death. Come on now. How can that not be death? Look at that. Lows. Oh, 2250. Is that death? You buying that? What are you buying? Are you buying leveraged products? You already bought death here. Did you stop out? Did you try again for death? All right, so megaphone pattern. So megaphone patterns. Oh, sorry. Megaphone patterns. I'm having a real moment here, right? Not trying to criticize you, but I'm just saying it's incredibly hard. Megaphone pattern, right? If it breaks out, right? You know what you target when the megaphone pattern breaks down? It's like that. So you're gonna buy here? That's death. We're in a perfect, well, it's in a nice megaphone pattern here. So what? We're gonna target 1100, 1000. Keep in mind we have a shitty monetary system in the United States. Really shitty. It's gonna blow up at some point. How long does it go? Yeah, everybody's been talking forever about, oh, you know, this decade it's going to blow up, and then it doesn't, and then the next. But historically, when countries have this kind of monetary system where countries, governments borrow and never pay it back, it always ends the same way. It ends in, you know, turmoil. it ends in an overthrow of of the, yeah, because the richer get richer, the poorer get poorer, and then eventually, you know, the living conditions get to be too much, and then the poor revolt, and it turns into a whole thing. Told you guys I can get pretty bearish, but whatever. So anyway, do you buy here? Well, in hindsight, yes, you bought here, right? But it only just made a new low. So where do you, where do you buy? That's the question. What do you wait for? In hindsight, I was long from 21, what was it, 2170? 2170. Yeah, I got out for a 10-point win. That was on the futures. In the moment I was watching, there was a hedge fund blowing up, and they were slowing down the selling of futures contracts here on the CME. They were literally slowing it down to allow for someone to come in and buy that liquidation. That's sometimes a good place to take a shot, but you just don't go put 100% of your account. So, if all of a sudden we break up here, oh shoot, let's see. Let's go back to this. This drawing thing is cool. All right, so let's say we break up and then thump, we go down and we penetrate this body. It's usually a nice short setup, okay? So where do you buy? Into these gaps? What's your time frame? You might have you guys are already commenting. I'm way behind. Sorry. I've just been over here ranting. So, where do you buy here, right? Honestly, interest rates are going bonkers, I mean, yeah, it's going to be. Anyway, if this happens, then, we're going to get more death pullbacks. The markets aren't going to go up forever. What, do you put your whole account here? You never do that. You just try to take chunks out, man. That's it. You just try to take chunks out. I was shorting here. I shorted here. I think I even shorted here, right? All these three spots. The crazy thing about shorting, though, is I was doing it with the options. I kept rolling them up. And I actually got out in sick profit on this pullback. Because, when the volatility spikes, the value of those contracts goes way up. So I got out for profit, but I started shorting way too early. And while I'm, just thinking about the 50% retracement here, essentially, and then the 618, which is the short was the 618. I wasn't thinking about getting long and staying long. Hell no, I wasn't. But there were people who got it right. Chivaco Capital got it. Seemed to, they were talking about breath thrusts down here. And that the likelihood of the market moving higher from here was very good. So he got it right. So, props where props is due. But I certainly got it wrong a bunch of times here. But I got out alive because of this 618 pullback, essentially. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, but it was 618. Yeah, see that? So the pullback from that. Boom. But it happened viciously, so that's why I made money on it. And God, it felt terrible continually rolling those options contracts and losing money as I rolled. I was like, this better come back or I'm you know, I'm screwed. So it came back, but it was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. My stops were up here. It's like, oh, if the market breaks above 3,000, I'm toast. Just because of this line here, right? Like, yeah, I'm toast. So short-term stops were here, and then when I pulled back, I was convinced by Chivaco Capital to start getting long and get out of my shorts. So I was like, okay, he made a lot of good points there. So I don't mind sharing. Yeah, anyway, he's really good. He's got some really good weekly YouTube videos. Let's see. Volatility raised the premium. Yep. I was losing money as it was going, because I was buying put spreads essentially. So I just kept rolling them, rolling them, rolling them higher, rolling them higher. And as it went higher, I thought, well, these are cheap, right? And they were. The puts were cheaper than the calls were at this time. So there was that skew. And so I just kept rolling them, rolling them, rolling them. And volatility wasn't too crazy in this area at the time. Again, this is a weekly chart, so it's, you don't get the picture that accurately, but on the daily we were just kind of cruising up a little bit here. So wasn't too bad. So when I bought puts and then volatility kicked in, the value of those puts just even though I had started shorting here and kept adding and rolling, the move just from here down, I made it all back and then some. So it was nice. Actually made decent money being wrong for so long. But what those put spreads allowed me to do was day trade comfortably to the long side. I don't know, because I just felt like, well, okay, I'm prepared for a big downside move, so I'm comfortable. I'm more comfortable psychologically going long here when the short-term charts told me to be long. So I was day trading all kind of names here, and including the E-mini, just comfortable playing both sides because I'm like, well, I got all this. I'm bearish for, like my verticals were probably 1 to 2 month expiration, depending, because I had so many different ones. And then as we got up closer, I started to try to time it a little bit better and not have all that theta loss. So, I think the closest my expirations got were like 2 weeks out. So as we moved into that, so it worked out, but whatever. Yeah, Ken, that's basically what I was doing. But I had a few people DMing me on Twitter like, hey, would you go short here? And I'm like, well, I'm short here. That was at this, like, right at this 50% mark. And I know there were some people like, yeah, me too. I think I'm going to add. I'm like, if you're short, I think I'll add. I'm like, well, to each his own. And I just kept adding. Not adding, rolling. So, but I don't know. I think a lot of these guys, if they didn't play it the same way, they probably got chopped in here. So, whatever. We're all responsible for our own trading, right? Anyway, where are we ending? A little bit of chop? Yeah, a little bit of chop. So did that one standard deviation VWAP thing work out today? Not for me. Not on this chart. No, it didn't. Unless you bought it here, right? Right above 65.75. Yeah, you only get like 1.5 points here, so not that crazy. So the first single standard deviation, I guess, this area here, the top. So VWAP 1 standard deviation, which was here, didn't really play out today. Whatever. But this area did. My long area here, I wish I would have gotten filled at 61 and then took off 67, but you know, whatever. I think I filled what, 62.50? No, 62.75, and then I never filled here. So I think Vladimir or Vladimir Putin, I think he asked, you position trade? Maybe that's what he meant, right? Because I got long here and then I was trying to add here. So I guess if you define position trading as that, then yes. Just depends what he means. But certainly, I think it's prudent if you catch a move to take off and then let runners go. So that's, if that's position trading, then yes. I don't. What's your definition of position, right? Anyway. Oh, thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Have a good one. My 3-year-old's getting frisky, so he's probably anticipating Dad coming out, playing with him. Let's see. 4,075, 534 lots still there. There it is. 354 lot. Where's that 77? 312 lots still there. Let's see if it's still there in the after hours, or if they pull it. Let's see. That'll be interesting. 3 minutes left. It might tell you something about the player, whether they're playing RTH or they just don't care or they just leave it there. Gets me thinking about that a little bit. And sometimes maybe the answer will come to me. Like, I think I know what's happening here. But sometimes, nope, I have no fucking clue. Just don't get enough pieces of the puzzle. Here, let's get rid of this time in sales now. All right. What a hodgepodge. Hey, Lucky. I'm just about to get off, my friend. I've been streaming here for a little bit. I'm tired. I'm tired and my brain is in need of some fuel. So anyway, 75 stays there with 354 lots. You see that? And then 77 pool, nope, 312 lots still there. So let's see if post-settlement, when we close in half an hour, if they're still there after. Yeah, NQ Scalper, maybe do you have the actual Telegram app? Yeah. Yeah, it's an app. It's kind of like WhatsApp or um, Twitch or Discord or you know, any kind of chat software. You need the either the app on your phone or on your desktop. Yeah, I set up a Discord server. Oh, cool. All right, Simsum, have a good one. Simsum Aleph. I can't believe I was able to see the Aleph. It's so small on my screen. But I was like, that's all it could be. Um, yeah, I do have a Discord server and channel set up, but there's nobody in there. I thought, well, I'll just go set it up, and if it becomes something that people ask about enough, then maybe we'll try it or something. Especially if we get enough really cool people that you know, all want to sort of talk to each other or whatever. And it's the same with Twitch. I'm gonna try Twitch. It's more to learn. More to learn. Not enough time in the day sometimes. Excuse me. It's like crypto. I'd love to trade crypto. It's so easy, but it inevitably keeps me up. Sometimes late at night, and I'm like trying to wake up for the stock market open, which is I really need to be up like 5:30 a.m. my time, because I'm on the West Coast. So it just becomes impossible like to try and juggle crypto and you know I just I don't know. I'm probably made trading crypto like off and on last year like 4,500% on my crypto account. So it did very well. Did much better as a percentage than my equity accounts. But it's just a whole thing, man. It's like, what would I rather trade? Just equities. I'd rather trade equities. I don't trust the whole crypto game. I don't like having a lot of money on crypto exchanges. Yeah, I just don't have time for it. But I would love to have, because there was a time that I traded, oh my God, I traded so much crypto. Probably shouldn't even say this. Almost $1 billion notional value on Coinbase back in 2017 in 1 month. So I was moving volume on Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin. I should tell you guys. So when Litecoin broke out at $4.20 and it shot straight up on Coinbase to $6 and what was it? 50 or 65 cents, something like that. Or maybe it was almost $7. That was me drunk buying. The only time I've traded drunk. And that was me market buying on Coinbase. And at the time, I was on a TeamSpeak group called Whale Pool, and I was lurking in there, and I was in my bathrobe, and I had just drunk a whole bottle of wine. I was watching the crypto markets. I was long some Ethereum, and things were just good, right? It's like middle of the night. Someone says on the Whale Pool TeamSpeak server, because Litecoin broke out from $4 to $4.20, and someone screams, "Litecoin is breaking out!" It was CoinRun. I don't know if he's still around, but I haven't been on this TeamSpeak server for a lot of years. Anyway, the guy that screams it out was CoinRun. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Whale Pool. And I'm on Coinbase and I have money on there, and I just it was, I don't know. I think it was around maybe, I don't remember how many thousands of Litecoin it was, but the book was thin, and I didn't realize that. So I put, I don't know, however many thousands of Litecoin in there, and I just hit market buy. And I wicked it up to like from four, maybe I think the start of my buying was 435, 440, and it wicked straight up to maybe 670. I don't know. I have the old chart somewhere. Some of my crypto buddies still have it. I have it on my desktop somewhere. Anyway, it wicked straight up, and my average was like above $6, and then it wicked straight up, went straight back down to like 450, 460, and I'm down like instantly 25, 30%. And I'm drunk, so I think I just bought the breakout. I'm awesome. And then I start to look at my transactions, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh, there was no liquidity. And yeah, I stayed up all night and sold at break. I stayed up all night drunk, well, trying to sober up, and sold at break even. And then I woke up the next morning, because I probably fell asleep around 3 or 4 a.m. by the time I got out of my position. And I woke up the next morning. All right, so I'm the breakout, and I'm resistance for Litecoin for that initial $4 to whatever $9 move. I sell at break even. As soon as I'm done selling, apparently the market takes off. I go to sleep, just tickled pink that I'm not down 25, 30%. And then I wake up, check out the markets like maybe 9:30, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Litecoin's at like $9.30, and I'm like, fuck my life. So that's one of my old crypto stories. But I traded crypto so much in 2016, I mean, you just 12, 13, 14 hours a day. It's like ridiculous. So I kind of have demons too. It's like, not that I didn't make a ton of money, I did, but it's like my wife got pissed at me during that time. She's like, all you do is trade, and I'm like, but we're making so much money. And I just didn't balance my life out. So now when I tried to get back into crypto recently, and I traded again. Like last year, I traded it like 3 or 4 to 5 times a month, and then I did real well on it. But now I'm just like, I want to spend more time running. It's like having a YouTube channel even takes a lot of time. I'm streaming, so that takes away from it. putting educational videos out, and just wanting to spend time with my kid and my wife. And I mean, they're both amazing, so priorities. So no more crypto. I just kind of cut it out. Like, even though I posted a Ripple chart, it's just because I have like the TradingView app on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, this is a bullish chart pattern. I don't know where it's at. I called it at 6. I don't know, maybe 60 cents or something is where I started to tell folks I think I'm really bullish. Okay, it's at 86 cents, so it's up a lot. I was calling 50, I think 65 or 59 cents, something like that. So it's at 85 now. So anyway, I have a few people from the crypto world that I came from. They do pay attention to when I say like something's a buy on crypto, because they know like, man, my crypto calls for so long were like gold. So they're probably buying Ripple, or started buying, when I said it's bullish, because they know. They know how it is. I wasn't wrong on a crypto trade yet this year, so it's an easier game, but God, what a pain. Anyway, enough about crypto. There's nothing anyone can do to get me back into it. I refuse. So anyway, oh, I gotta hit this. See that? That's that lock fill space button. That allows me to move that like that and lock the fill space here. Because now you have, this is the RTH deltas and the RTH volume here. Well, this is the extended trading hours deltas and volume. So I like to see the way extended trading hours delta moves against the regular trading hours. That's why I have that here. See that? But what it does is it also widens out the amount of space that the volume in delta uses. So that's why that lock fill space button is so critical for me. It's up there on the right side up here. Yeah, right there. You guys can see it. LFS. So that allows me to not have this overlap like this. All right. So I could move it where I want it to move, and then lock it out. Now I could scroll and look at the past price action. Oh, lucky, yeah. It's Bitcoin is really fun to trade technically. It's really fun. You could go back and look at my Twitter feed, man. And you could see that I was saying buy. I might even have the charts left over here. Let's see. Oh shoot, I'm gonna crash my Sierra chart here. Watch this. Dumb. Shoot. Watch this. Crash City. I hit the wrong thing. Yeah, I have a whole nother instance for Sierra chart instance just for crypto, because of the volume by price settings and whatnot. I already know. I'm probably, let's see. No, none of these charts are marked up here. It's on my other instance of Sierra chart. Forget it. I'm already sucking myself in anyway. I was charting it on Binance and BitMEX, but yeah, forget it. I'm not gonna get sucked back into that. Talk myself off the ledge here. It's getting tight. 15 minutes. Resistance here. Yeah, so that's 75 there. 354 lot. Let's see, was it 354 or was it different? I want to say it was not 354 before. Anyway, 777 was the 312 lot. That hasn't changed. But the 375, what was that? That's, well, I can't really tell, can I? I can look back in my live stream, that's about it. So Lucky, you say Binance account to trade it. You can't trade Binance through Sierra Chart. You can trade BitMEX through Sierra Chart, but you cannot trade Binance through Sierra Chart. Anyway, stream health is poor for whatever reason. So have a good one, folks, and happy Globex trading. Take it easy.